On October 22nd and 23rd, you can take part in the annual East Hill Ghost Walk at East Hill Cemetery in Bristol. Here to get us ready for these bone-chilling walks through Bristol's history is Pappy Hawthorne. Hello, how you doing today, Pappy?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
You were telling me something about this. I want you to share with our viewers this ghost walk. What happens when you show up at East Hill Cemetery on the 22nd and 23rd?
Parking is on the left, on the right, off of State Street.
Yeah.
They come into the cemetery. You're put in groups, and you're led by a guide with a candle lantern or lantern around the cemetery. And as you walk through, as they lead you through the cemetery, every once in a while, a ghost comes out and talks to you, and it's not anything that's scary.
Right.
We do. That's not our objective.
A little spooky, but not. You're not wanting to scare people. But it's also a history lesson for
It's
folks.
a very, very good history lesson of Bristol's history and the cemetery's history.
So when you're doing this, you're actually one. Are you're one of the ghosts that appears?
Oh, I'm
right?
one of the ghosts. They dig me up just every year.
So for your part of it, what do you tell the folks about your part of it?
Well, this year, and we change it every year.
Okay.
We changed all the characters, or most of the characters, each year to make it so if you want to come back next year or the year after, you'll still hear different programs. This year, I will be a fellow named Samuel Goodson, who was very prominent in Bristol's history.
Mm-hmm. And when you have actually do some special effects things as well. You were telling me.
Yeah, there is a few special effects, nothing spooky, but I will say this: being in that old cemetery in the dark of night has its own special little feeling.
And you say you're not saying there's not ghosts, but you're not saying there are.
Yeah. I'm like Bud Phillips. I've never seen one, but I won't say there's not any. There is strange things happening in that cemetery, right. I'll have to say.
And y'all have been doing this for 8 or 9 years now.
Yes.
They've been really well received.
Right. And this is a fundraiser to help maintain and take care of the cemetery,
right.
which is a tremendous job.
When you look at East Hill Cemetery, you're talking about the history of Bristol and that
right.
area, in our region there. Let's talk about what are some of the things that are really historic that are inside that cemetery.
Okay, for one thing, we have 230-some Confederate soldiers that are buried there. A lot of whom died in the Confederate hospital, which is near the cemetery. The founder of Bristol. We have 3 of the what was called the Immortal 600 buried there. Anybody who pretty much was anything in Bristol's development in the early years is buried there in that cemetery.
All right. Well, Pappy Hawthorne, we appreciate you coming by and telling us about it.
Well, thank you. I hope you all come out.
Oh, yeah. East Hill Cemetery Ghost Walks. It's happening October the 22nd and 23rd from 7 to 9 p.m. right there at East Hill Cemetery in Bristol. It's a donation, $5 per person. Children under 12 are admitted free. We'll be back with more daytime coming up.